I want to thank you for joining us again today. As many of you know, my business model is by referral, and there are all kinds of business models in real estate, like buyer agency, or only selling luxury, or only selling condos. But mine is by referral, and what that means is that I strongly believe in small business and local business. And when people refer their clients and friends and family to me, I want them to have a good experience. And I want it to be so good that they'll tell other people about me. Similarly, I feel so strongly about local and small business that I refer high quality local and small businesses. And I was thinking, Jennifer and I were chatting a few weeks ago, how can we honor those businesses, help support them during this time, and expose you to some really great information? And it just seemed to fit hand in hand with our by referral model. And so each week we're bringing you Ask the Expert online. We've done this as a forum before with a happy hour with a bunch of experts in one room, and maybe one day we'll be able to do that again. But for now, we're going to bring you a different expert each week, and they're going to talk on their area of expertise. We're going to ask some questions, and we're going to record this so it's available later. If you've got experts that you would like to hear from, let me know. I'm open to topics. I would love to learn more about all kinds of industries. I'm inquisitive, and I'm happy to scratch your itch a little too. So given where we are as a country right now, we also thought this was a good forum for building some community with local businesses and consumers. So again, we have a special expert with us today. Her name is Rebecca Ruest, and she is the owner of My Personal Assistant. She is a concierge and a personal assistant that you can hire. And it might seem obvious you can hire her, but the reason I'm saying that is because you really can hire her. She's not a service for the mega rich, although she does work with some of those folks. She's a service for everyday people who just need help. And we're going to get into that in a little bit because I really want to share with you what she brings to the table and how she can help you and your loved ones. So she works throughout the metro region, Maryland, DC, and Virginia. She's been in business full time for 9 years with this company that she owns. And she's got a lot of happy clients everywhere. And I know because some of them are my clients too. And the other thing that she has is a lot of really interesting stories about how she's helped people. And we're going to hear some of that later. So Rebecca, as I mentioned, has helped some of my clients we started working together because of moving, people who needed help clearing out houses and clutter, or who were moving in and needed organizational help. So we're going to talk about some of that too. First, I want to give you a little update on the DC metropolitan real estate market, because I do get a lot of questions and there's a lot of trepidation right now. We are continuing to see really encouraging signs. So while market activity, which means the amount of properties that went under contract, was down last week from where it was the same week last year, it was only down 19.3%. Each week it has improved. So the previous week's drop compared to the same week last year was 30.9% throughout the region. And then the week before that, it was 40%. And then 4 weeks ago, it was 45%. So we're clearly improving. We had 100 more homes go under contract this past week than the week before. And almost every week, we've gained another 100. So that's fantastic news. And then for some specific area information, in Northern Virginia, which is defined as Arlington County, Fairfax County, City of Fairfax, Alexandria, and Falls Church. Contract activity was down 20.1% as compared to the same week last year. Loudoun County was down 17.3%. Prince William, woo, they get a prize. They were only down 7.3%. Crossing the Potomac River, where things sometimes tend to be a little slower, Montgomery County was down 29.1%, so there's some catching up to do there. But get this, Prince George's County only off 8.5%, and Washington, D.C. down 28.2%. So in every case, these declines were improvements from the previous week. Now, if you want to know something about your specific neighborhood or community or an area you're interested in, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to help and get you some good information, fact-based and specific. But I don't want to belabor the real estate stuff too much, because I want to get into talking with Rebecca. So Rebecca, I'm so glad you were able to join us today. And that we're going to have a great conversation. There have been so many times I've been in a quandary on my own behalf or that of my client on how are we going to get everything done. And you look and it feels overwhelming. And then you pop in my mind and I think, oh, I'm just going to call Rebecca. And I envision you with a flowing cape like Superwoman and like a big R emblem on your chest. So I find it amusing that when I tell people your hourly rate, which in most cases is $55, sometimes people are resistant. They say, oh, you know, I don't know if I want to spend that money. It might add up quickly. And I suggest they give you a call. And many, many times I've gotten a call from you or from them saying, well, I thought she was so great. I bought an 11-hour package, which I think you do 10 hours for a new client and they get an 11th free, right?
Yes.
So anyway, I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining us.
I'm super happy to be here.
We're happy to have you too. And when people hear that word concierge or personal assistant, sometimes, like I said before, they have that thought like, well, that's for really wealthy people, like the mega rich, but that's not really true. I just want to launch right in because you have a really good business friend who's a financial assistant. You've told me that he says, there's a saying, you can't buy time, but he tells people you really can buy time when you hire Rebecca. So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, he and I work on several clients together, and you know, there's the other phrase, time is money. And so basically the only way you can build in more hours in your day is to hire someone to do the tasks you don't like to do, don't have time for, don't feel like doing, don't know how to do, and job them out to someone else. And so he refers to me as you do. And so I can take that to-do list that people have and figure out like the things that I can do for them. And then they have built in more time for them to either get more work done and make more money, or to get that massage or read a book or spend more time with their family or friends or go for a walk or however you choose to spend your time that you've just bought from me. So it's like, how can you not find the value in your own time, essentially?
Yeah, because you've said at times in the past when you kind of learn what somebody needs, it's more like, how can you not afford me? Like you really can't afford not to hire me. And so, you know, there are all kinds of gains we make, right? Getting stuff done and opportunity costs. But what do you mean when you say you can't afford not to hire me?
So a lot of my clients will sit, you know, we'll work together either side by side, or I'll come and I'll do something for them when they're doing something else in the home or not even around, and they'll just sit and go, I would never do this if you weren't here. Sometimes just hiring someone to do it guarantees that you're going to do it, because I'm not going to show up and you're paying me $55 an hour to do something, you know, to go watch TV or whatever. So you're managing your time better because you've scheduled me in, first of all. And then there's the things that I do for them that they might not ever do, like medical, insurance admissions when you have a doctor's that not covered by your insurance. And I've gotten back thousands of dollars for multiple clients because they never would have submitted for reimbursement. And there's just, the money is sitting there. That is their money, but you have to ask for it. And it's tedious, and it's filling out forms and talking to people like experts on the phone, and you know, the insurance people, and there's a whole lingo, and you need a PhD in insurance talk. You know, it's seriously, it's so overwhelming, and it's your medical health. So it's personal and it's emotional, and you know, and so they'd rather not deal with it, frankly, half the time. And I've had, I've told you this before, but I've had an Easy Pass bill for a client that was like $60. They ended up paying $10 for a 10-minute phone call to clear up like the toll that, you know, whatever was glitching on the Easy Pass, but they would have just paid that. So right there, they paid for an hour of my time in a 10-minute phone call. And then my favorite story is a client whose mother had passed away like 16, 17 years prior to when I started seeing these checks coming in for $1.37, $18.39, you know, like just minimal amounts. So she, you know, just kind of let him go, never did the paperwork to get the money that was due her. I did it for her in a couple hours, $54,000 she got back. And that's no small amount of money. And I don't know how you could afford not to do that. I could not afford not to have $54,000 that was mine in my bank account. So, you know,
right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
You know, I just did the math and I realized you're not saying every client watching would get 54,000 by working with you, but let's just use that client as an example. $54,000 divided by your hourly rate would pay for 982 hours with you. That's a lot of organization.
Not that much. But that was one of
You
the
are.
first things I did for that client. And she's now a 6-year client. I work with her every week for 2 hours a week. And I get there and there's the Rebecca pile, the Rebecca folder, the Rebecca flag on her email. And all of that is organized. We've done that over the years so that I can just dive right in when I get there.
See, you get there, and it's that accountability too, that she knows you're coming. She's paid for the time. She knows you're coming. She's going to make sure she's ready.
Correct.
So it's a big part of your job then is the whole overwhelm factor. You know, people can't see the forest for the trees. They think they'll be on the phone forever with used health insurance, easy pass, you know, get passed along to other departments, never get the answer they want. But you can do that for them, save them time, mental stress. Then they won't be cranky going into their next meeting. They'll have a more effective meeting if they haven't been, you know, weighed down by Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever it is. So you have shared some pretty amazing stories about how you've helped people with this overwhelm and these tasks that seem tedious that can get done. But could you elaborate, maybe share another story on the overwhelm?
Sure. And also, like, I like to tell my clients, I'm not judging what you're asking me. That's not my job. My job is to do what you need me to do. So I'm not, if, you know, whatever overwhelms you, what overwhelms me is not what overwhelms the next person. Everyone has their own triggers and that thing that makes them feel like paralyzed, they can't move forward. And so, you know, I've had people that have their to-do list of things that don't have to get done, but they'd like to get done, like a photo book for their 10-year-old's birthday. And they know they have the photos, they know they've got the time, especially right now, you have time to do things, but it's tedious and it's hard. And maybe you've never done it. And I've done one every year and sometimes 5 a year, and I know how to do it. And they send me, you know, send me the pictures and the book is delivered to their home. I have a client who had on his to-do list, enormous amount of family trees from a very big family, and just it was never going to get put into ancestry.com, so I did it, and we came into some glitch with the system, and I spent 45 minutes. I had to apologize and I'm sorry that I was, you know, on the phone an extra 45 minutes. It cost more than we thought it was going to cost. And he's like, better you than me, you know. And I have clients with kids who have some special needs and they need to order certain devices and figure out what the best way for the organization of their lives are going to be in a structure. And then they have all these specialists that they see. And as I said, with the medical billing, you know, submitting to insurance, it's like, it's so overwhelming because it's your child who's your love. And, you know, so that again, is paying for me because I'm submitting to the insurance for them. But, you know, just those little things that you just don't anticipate when you're planning your family, you know, and so it's like being able to knock that off your list. Now you can spend quality time with him instead of spending hours on the phone with the insurance company fighting for your kid to be covered. So
Yeah.
I do that for them.
Who wants to spend their time that way? I mean, I know you will for your job, but you know, for our non-job.
I do. Yeah.
And that's what makes you so unique, Rebecca Ruest. Jennifer, will you pull up the list of some of the things that Rebecca does? Because it occurs to me, Rebecca, that what people can do, oh, here it is. So anybody who's watching, this is just an idea of some of the ways that Rebecca can help. You know, obviously organizational systems, getting digitally organized, getting rid of paper, dealing with the insurance companies, liaison with contractors, wedding coordination or event coordination, I'm sure. This was a neat one. So she's helped people with trips, itineraries for Disney and Universal. And she shared with me recently that she's been having to help them cancel those trips also, and get back the money that they can, which is unfortunate, but a sign of the times. So, so there's some ideas, and we're happy to shoot that to you later if you need it. Thanks, Jennifer. Rebecca, what I was going to say before Jennifer pulled that up is that I had a business coach who used to say, just do a mind dump and get everything out of your head, personal and business, that you need to do. So I'm thinking, you know, people could do that and look at their list, and then they could just hire, you know, they could pick which ones would be good Rebecca tasks and go call you and consult. Is this something you do?
I recommend with my existing clients as well, but for anyone that needs that kind of help, that there, as I said before, there's like the Rebecca pile, the Rebecca list, the Rebecca folder, and even emails. Like I have clients, especially now, I have a lot of senior clients, and right now they're, needing to download Zoom so that they can talk to their family or friends or whatever, like everyone's doing. And they download the wrong program. And so now there's something on their computer that says it's a Z, but that's not the Zoom app. So I know that. And I've got to FaceTime them on the phone to show them on the computer what they need to do. And I have a background actually working with special needs kids. So I have a lot of patience, and everyone I feel has their own special needs.
We work with realtors too, by the way.
So you just need to, slowly explain things and understand you might be explaining them way more than once, which is fine. And my point to them when they do those things is call me first, because you might download something that's going to screw your computer up. And right now I can't come help you because I'm not allowed. It's not safe. So I've been getting a lot of those kinds of phone calls so that they are not making bigger mistakes, or not asking me, I'm not their boss, but kind of, I'm like, just ask me first so I can make sure you're doing the right thing. I'll talk you through it 15 minutes and you're doing the right thing instead of something that may cause more problems in the end. And those same clients, most of my clients have that like email folder that they can just flag something. And when I get there, I look at it and go, I think that this might be, spam, but I was going to click on it and I thought no. And it's not an official thing from Verizon. It's some spam thing. They're trying to steal your information, and seniors especially are targets for that. And I've prevented quite a bit of the possibility of, information being stolen from those folders that they have for Rebecca. So
see, another way you've more than paid for yourself, because God only knows what you can get into when you get in that level of fraud,
Oh yeah.
So I've heard you say that you can help people with things like paying bills, and you've got like this system that you teach people. Would you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm an enemy of paper. So I don't think you should get mail if you don't need it. And we pay most of our bills online now. And I don't know the last time I've written a physical check. You can even send a check from your bank. And I've taught my clients how to do that as well, or I do it for them. But I have created a spreadsheet for them to use that's like bills paid, what, when, how. And so we know what bills are being paid, when is the date that they're due, and how do we pay them? Is it paid with your Amex card? Is it paid with your Capital One bank account? Is it paid with your Discover? People have all these different ways that they want to do it. And so I document everything. We know it's the Amex bill is due on the 17th and it comes out of the Capital One banking account. Then I have another sheet on the same spreadsheet, another tab that says when I'm there, the bills that I pay. So I paid the Amex bill on April 17th for $2,475. And then when they're panicking because they get that digital email reminder, which they should, that's why, and it usually says this is set up for automatic payment or this is set to be paid, but it's just a reminder. They panic and I thought I paid that. And they have the easy reference. And then of course they can still call me and I can talk them through how to look on their Amex bill to see if it's been paid, or online at their bank or whatever, but they can quickly call me and I can talk them through that, or they can just look on that spreadsheet. So it just, just a system in place where there's always a place to reference so that they know in this, a lot of my seniors, well, none of the seniors grew up with the technology that we did. And who knows what we're going to be missing when we're seniors, but it's, it's overwhelming to them, and they're slow at it, and they're, they struggle, and they don't have the confidence in their own skill on the computer. So that's why I end up doing those things for them.
I was just going to say, I bet you give them a lot of confidence when you do that for them, because that anxiety can be overwhelming. I mean, it can really weigh you down.
Well, I'll have them say, call me or text me and say, can you book me a flight at this time on this airline to this place? And I want these seats. And in my head, I'm like, well, by the time you texted that, you could have just booked it. But it's not that simple. And they're afraid they're going to put the wrong thing in and the wrong date. It's a drop down menu. And what if and so I could make those mistakes as well. I'm not as wary of them. So I just, I do it, and what takes me 10 minutes might take them an hour. Seriously. So It's, again, saving time is money, or so it's just easier to pay someone to do it and get it done and know it's done right.
And they're buying your time.
Right.
That's a great way of using your time, helping them with those systems. I've heard you say that a not so great way of using your time, though you're happy to do it, is errand running. Would you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, as I said, I try not to judge what my clients need. If that is really what overwhelms you, then I'm happy to do it for you. But what I recommend is saying, oh, a lot of people think that a personal assistant is someone that runs and, gasses up their car and gets their dry cleaning and picks up groceries or their prescriptions. And especially right now, I want to do that for my clients because I don't want my clients out there endangering their own lives, especially the seniors. But in general, what I recommend is saying, if I'm scheduled to be there from 2 to 5 today, then why don't I on my way pick something up and we're adding 15 minutes at the time, as opposed to having me be there for 3 hours running around errands. It's just my skill set is such that it's smarter to use me for the things that really make your life easier. And we can pay someone less money to do the running around that doesn't take kind of this, just the expertise and skill set that I have. So again, if that's what helps you, that's fine.
Yeah, maybe you're setting them up on Instacart, or maybe showing them how they can contact CVS for their prescription delivery.
Yeah, I do that frequently. I've found, the dry cleaning place that drops off and picks up, and schedule that for people, the water delivery place, the Instacart, the Peapod, all those kinds of things, so that they don't have to go out themselves, even before when we're not allowed to go out for ourselves. So, those things can help you consistently, throughout.
Yeah.
And again, it's not that I'm trying not to make money and work more hours, but I want to be efficient with my use of my time for my clients and really help them where they need it most. And it's often like, that's not where they should spend their money with me. I can help them find people that do it.
We touched on it earlier when we looked at that list that Jennifer pulled up, but I know you're also willing to work with contractors, meet with them to get estimates, help your client do the comparisons, maybe talk with them when you have an apple and an orange and an artichoke to get, streamline what they're looking at, and then work as maybe either good cop or bad cop, as the case may be, with the contractors. Because I know a lot of my own clients, they want the work done, but if something goes awry, they hate the confrontation element. And I believe that's a service that you offer, right?
I do it a lot. In fact, one of the benefits of using Anne or myself is that I don't just have a home, I have 65 clients last year with homes. And so they all need painting and plumbing and roofs and, new floors and new carpets and, whatever the need arises for each different client, electrical work and everything. And so I've got my trusted contractors that I use time and time again, and several even in the same, I'll get 2 estimates or 3 estimates per job and I use the same contractors. I know their work. I know they're going to be honest, but of course there's going to be a time when, something is painted the wrong color or something goes wrong, or that's not what I asked for. And it depends on the contractor. I read the temperature of the person and I go, do I need to be please do this for me because my client's really hard on this situation and they're going to yell at me if it's not done right? Or do I say, I can't go to my client with this, and how dare you try, probably being a little extreme in both ways right now, but, just basically like my own good cop, bad cop. And, I lay that out to my clients when I start. I'm like, I might make you the bad guy in the situation, but if it gets it done, we don't care,
Right.
And they want it done and they don't want to deal with it. And Anne and I had a client that lived in New Jersey, but his mother was moving from Alexandria into a nursing home or assisted living. And he had a business and a home in New Jersey and couldn't be there to meet the painters and the plumbers and all the window repair and the roof repair and everything that needed to get done in order to sell that house. And I tell my clients all the time, when you're working with Anne, do what she says. She knows what she's doing. So if she says that needs to be fixed, it really does. You don't want to sell it like that. And so I reiterate to them, let's do this because it's going to sell better, faster, and it always does. And he was so happy with that he took Anne and he came back just to take us out to brunch one day.
Drove down from New Jersey.
From New Jersey to take us to brunch in Shirlington. And that's how grateful he was that we had, made his life so much easier, and he didn't have to come down and meet clients. I was opening the doors and making sure things were locked up, making sure things were done right and ready, and trash was where it was supposed to be, and, everything like that, so that his mom's house would sell, because it's not even his home. So,
you got to really trust somebody if they're going to be referred to your mother, right? I mean,
right.
You got to have a high level of trust. So, all right, we talked a little bit about bad cop, and that's such a good way for people to know they can use you. But I also am so humored, and I love to ask you, like, tell me one of your interesting stories. So would you share with me one or two of the most unusual things you've ever been asked to do?
Sure. The strangest thing I've ever been asked to do was hire goats to never, and I never.
How do goats pay bills, Rebecca?
I guess you pay the people, but the goats were hired to clean up the kudzu, whatever plant that grows, and it's an environmentally friendly way to do it. It's, you just hire a goat, it goes in the backyard for a few days, and you just make sure it has water and it eats all the plants that you don't want in your yard. And I had never heard that before, and I haven't heard it since. Now it could happen again, especially if I'm putting it out there. But and I have a very wealthy client who collects Ferraris, real live ones. But this particular case, he had a Ferrari nose cone that needed to be repaired and painted and touched up. And I had to find the exact person an hour and a half away, only person we could trust with this huge job. Drove it out there, and not the Ferrari, just a nose cone, and had it. I know. And then and I was thinking of another, I've worked in some hoarder houses as well, and completely, emptied them and gotten them ready for the mass production and stuff. And we found, I was working with Quinn's Auction House on this one, and we found $30,000 worth of gold bars in a piano. So I would tell you, if you're cleaning out someone's house, look in every purse, every shoebox. Don't think it's not there. It could be anywhere. So that's another one that
Jamie Grasso told us about that a couple of weeks ago. We had her on Ask the Expert.
Right.
And she talked about you need to check every pocket, because people of a certain age, they will squirrel away.
Yep.
Wonder how the piano sounded.
I can tell you it hadn't been used in a long time.
That's true. Hey, I wanted to see if we have any questions, Jennifer, do we have any questions that people have either texted, or I'm getting some texts on my phone and I'll look, but do you have any there?
Let's see. Someone asked if you do gift certificates. It's a little late for Mother's Day, but birthdays, other holidays.
I do gift certificates, and I've just been given as a gift. And those, frankly, two of my clients that I was given for, I don't know if it was birthdays or Mother's Days, that the people that I knew gave me as a gift to their mothers have been clients of mine for 6 years, and people that I see on a weekly basis. And then one that I see like I need this job done, and so can you come do this? I decorate her house every year for Christmas and then take everything down afterwards and stuff like that. But that's been years and years in the making from a birthday gift.
So I have somebody who just tuned in, and he texted me, goat hoarder, which is a scary thought to put those two together. But anyway, what we are with a personal organizer concierge. So I have given you as a gift. And I think you're a great gift, but it's training people how to use you, I think.
Sure.
Jennifer, any other questions?
Yeah, somebody asked how to get started. Like, they look around and their life's kind of in chaos, but they don't know where best to start.
That's a really good question, because people are so overwhelmed that narrowing it down and pinpointing the way I can help seems as overwhelming as actually, what you have to do. So it's one of those, like, you gotta do that before you can start feeling like you're being helped. But I offer a free hour consultation, and it can be over the phone or in person. And often that bleeds right into, can we just start right now? And we'll go through, I ask them just to come up with a to-do list, that things that overwhelm them. And then I can go, oh, I can do that one. I can do that one. I can do that one. And then they go, oh my gosh, like half my list is gone already, or maybe more, maybe all of it. And let's prioritize. And I can help them, decide and figure out where to start and when and how.
Yeah, I think it's that list is key. People just need to do the mind dump and then call you and go, is this something you can help with? And like you said, you'll walk them through that consultation. So we're at just about a half an hour, because we started 1 or 2 minutes late. And I want to thank you so much, Rebecca. I love working with you. You bring me peace of mind with my clients. I've enjoyed getting to know you as a person, but I think you're a phenomenal business. And I think you're, you know, well priced. The value you get for $55 an hour is incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just want to thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And I have really enjoyed working together over the last few years. If people have questions for Rebecca, they want to talk with her about hiring her, here's her website. It's my PA for personal assistant DC for DC Metro, mypadc.com. You can reach out to her on email or give her a buzz on her mobile or text her. Or if you are looking at this later or thinking about it or want to run something by me, I'm always happy to connect you and answer questions, because I've used her myself, referred her many, many times over. So Rebecca, anything you want to add there?
No, it's my pleasure. And I would say use Ann too. If you're going to sell your home, use Ann
Oh, well,
McClure.
thank you. I want to say also that Jennifer, yeah, I want to thank you. You've been a big help in getting these series produced each week. And I know we've had our shared technical difficulties. I'm very happy to have you as a team member. I know you don't like the kudos, but I would be remiss if I didn't thank you. And thanks everybody who tuned in or will be watching this later. We love your support. We love supporting local and small business. And next week, we're going to be supporting Tanya Chappelle of Chappelle's Cleaning, with certain places opening back up somewhat. She's going to talk with us because she's taken 2 courses and she's getting some extra certifications in COVID-19 cleaning. And she's got real good practical tips on best practices you can take for yourself and your family to stay healthy. And if you have to go out and about, you know, what to do and to be on the lookout for. If you've got a business that needs cleaning or you've got questions, she will be a fantastic resource. So that's next Tuesday at 1 p.m. for our 6th episode of Ask the Expert. If you know anybody who needs an expert realtor to help them buy or sell or just consult, I hope you'll consider me. We will, you know, bring in a great team of experts. You're getting to know some of them, and we will make you look good in the process. So I just want to thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay.